Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world, the fighters. This is just one of...
It's the Mexican monster, David Benavidez, turned pro at the young age of 16 years old, and by the age of 20, became the youngest ever super middleweight champion, and now has titles in 2 different weight classes. Terrence.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from...
What a pleasure to be in this unique environment. Every seat has been taken for tonight's match.
You can't beat a good old-fashioned rivalry. When there's guts, when there's feeling, when there's heart involved, that's when you get a good fight, one-on-one.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. We waited a long time, and now we've got this fight. Oh, look at that left jab. Catch and shoot. Perhaps the hottest ticket in town for this fight tonight.
Can you imagine walking into this, Todd? Walking into an arena with such noise, people chanting your name. You can't even hear your cornerman whisper in your ear. I've been in situations like that where it can be terrorizing if you haven't got your wits about you.
The perfect counter lands. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. Pretty close fight here in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
That uppercut doesn't land. Unlucky to miss with that jab. Counter punch. Can't score with that right uppercut. A perfect counter shot. A straight right just misses. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Benavidez that last round. That was almost it.
Now it's a tougher fight.
On to the second round. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
There's a counter shot. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. A counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
Counter punch is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
Nice counter. Neither fighter willing to slow down. These two are the perfect dance partners.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Nice counter shot. That right hook catching air. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. That punch lands. Nice counter punch right up the middle. He threw a punch and just got count. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about David Benavidez that last round. They've got the momentum, they've got the advantage. How do they carry that into the next round?
Dominance without...
There's the bell to start round 3. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Beautiful counter punch. Look at the footwork, the hand speed. This is the best that the middleweight division has to offer. Beautiful counter shot. Good counter punching. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
How about that time counter shot? Nice counter shot. You don't want to trade shots. And he scores with the counter. Do you believe this? Those counter punches have to hurt. I don't think we can truly appreciate what we saw unless we see it in slow motion.
Where did that come from?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Talk about David Benavidez in that last round.
Focus on what you're doing.
There's the bell for round 4. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
They exchange punches. Lucky that hook didn't score. Well done with that counter shot. Good one. When are we going to see a jab from these two? That counter punch caught him clean. Monster's in trouble. And it appears they weathered the storm. Now I'm not sure.
Defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense. Work on defense, blocking and stopping and shooting.
To be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A lot of effort being exerted here. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about David Benavidez that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage. Back into the fray here in round 5. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Punch, counter punch. Terrence Crawford just got rocked. Crawford got hit hard and down he goes. Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you okay?
Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. He's been knocked down, but
That's a terrible round.
there's the bell for round 6. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
His stamina is off the charts. They are giving us a high-tempo show. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That counter shot lands. Incredible work rate. You've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses. How do you deal with it?
When you have a fighter that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Nice counter punch. Both men step back for just a moment. The replay machine. I have got to see that again.
A shot from the gods took him out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come to me.
We enter the final 10 seconds here in a pretty dominant display. Talking about Benavidez that last round. Let's see how the corner.
I need you to go back out there.
There's the bell to start round 7. Something has got to change after 2 knockdowns in the last round.
2 knockdowns and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs will feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
And he scores with the counter. Good counter punching. counter shot lands. The jab doesn't quite connect. Punch, counter punch. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Beautiful counter shot. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
Misses with the jab. Nice counter shot. You'd like to see more jabs. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. About Crawford in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
You cannot get...
Come free.
And they're back at it again here in round 8. How much is left in their tank after last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace...
And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove, and down he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give me your ball.
At some point, the corner may have to intervene here because this fighter won't stay down.
That is a show of character. When you're put down, your ego's hurt, your chin's hurt, your body's hurting, and you've got to get up, suck it up, and think, right, I'm back in the game again. It's so hard for a fighter.
Punch, counter punch. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
That counter shot lands. Nice counter shot. 10 seconds to go, and what domination we've seen in this round. So the judges can't make up their mind. It is a draw. No winners and no losers here.
You know what? That's fair. And for the fans, I feel sorry for the fans because